In this video, we're going to have a look at the deduction of donations to public benefit organizations, an example on how to calculate the limit. So again, I just want to go back to the taxable income framework and just to position what we're looking at. So if you're doing a long calculation of taxable income, donations will be the very last deduction that you will deduct to arrive at a taxpayer's taxable income. I've provided you with an example of a taxpayer who, before adding taxable capital gains, has a taxable income of 333,000 Rand. They make 2 donations, and the question asks us, or it gives us information of the taxable capital gain, and then asks us how much will the taxpayer be able to deduct in respect of the donations to the public benefit organization. Okay, so again, like with an example video, I'd like you to stop the video here and see if you can do it on your own, and then we can start again and work through it together. It's the best way of testing whether you understand how to apply the limitation. Right, welcome back. We're now going to apply the example. I hope you've worked through it. So in this example, we're given taxable income before taxable capital gain. So none of this information is given to us. So we start the taxable income framework from taxable income after other deductions, and the question tells us it's 333,000 Rand. The question then tells us that the taxable capital gain for this taxpayer is 100,000 Rand, and so that then gives us a total before retirement fund contributions and donations of 433,000 Rand. Yes, so now we get to the allowable deductions. The first allowable deduction that we'll look for is retirement fund contributions, which in this question there aren't any, and then we need to go to donations. Just remember the taxable income where you have had retirement fund contributions, you need to recalculate it because you're going to use it as part of your donations limitation. Okay, so remember the first step is we need to go through the donations of the taxpayer and decide which ones qualify to be deducted. Okay, so the first donation is to the HIV Awareness Center. The question tells us that the taxpayer received a Section 18A receipt, so we can include that in the qualifying donations. The next donation is to their church, and obviously the church is not registered as a public benefit organization because no Section 18A certificate or receipt was issued, and therefore it doesn't qualify to be deducted. And please just note that where there's a nil amount, you have to give a reason. So it doesn't qualify because there's no Section 18A receipt. Okay, so the total qualifying donations of this taxpayer are 5,000 Rand. So then we need to apply the limit. It's limited to 10%. Note that I've used the taxable income just before this deduction, 433,000 Rand. That gives me a limit of 43,300 Rand that this taxpayer will be able to deduct. And they have contributed 5,000 Rand. That's a qualifying donation, and therefore the full 5,000 Rand can be deducted from taxable income to get to a total taxable income for this taxpayer of 428,000 Rand. Okay, what you need to take from this is it's important that your first step is to calculate the qualifying donations before you can apply the limitation and to show each of the donations that the taxpayer has made, whether they will be taken into account or not. The next thing that I would like you to take from this video is the order of the taxable income framework, and I think that's been emphasized enough, but that you need to know that donations is the very last deduction, and if you've done your taxable income framework in the correct order, you will have the correct taxable income total before you do donations in order to calculate the percentage of 10% on the correct amount. So just to take note that you need to do it in the correct order, and that donations to public benefit organizations are the very last deduction that you'll deduct in order to calculate taxable income.